They lied to us about Draymond Green. The media wants you to think he's the dirtiest player in the NBA. And I have stats to prove he's not. And he talked about that on his podcast. We're going to break it all down for you. In addition, James Jones, Suns GM, said that Kevin Durant has never been the best player in the team and utilized the right way. Wrong. We're going to break that down for you. You know, Warriors, we got 2 rings out of him. All that and more. Randy Silver here, this episode Warriors Digest. Go ahead and click that subscribe. We break you down episodes every day in Warriors World. Draymond tweeted this out. Instagram this out. Story. 21 flagrant fouls, 970 games. Embiid, in half the games basically, 23 flagrant fouls. Hoodwinked. So what Draymond's saying? Yeah, I'm not the nicest guy on the floor. I've had my issues, and we're going to talk about that. But I'm not the worst, especially when you look at the number of games Joel has got the Fs, 23 and 49, to Draymond's 21 and 970. That's a lot. That's a lot of games. And let's break it down a little bit deeper for you. 15 flagrant fouls in the regular season in 813 career games, 6 more in the playoffs, 157 playoff games. Joel, that's almost 3 times more playoffs games because obviously Warriors got those 4 rings with him. However, 16 in the regular season in 433 games. Of course, he was hurt early in his career. And then 24 total in 492 when you include the playoff. So is Draymond really that dirty? When you look at the technical fouls, he's at 181 technical fouls in the regular season, postseason, where Embiid's had just 65. That's what matters most. Look at that again. 181 technical fouls in the regular season, postseason, versus Embiid, who has 65 technical fouls. That is why it feels like he's much more of a dirty player, because he's getting more of those one-off situations over the course of his whole career. So if he's played in if he's at 181 technical fouls, and he's played in the 813 regular season games, if we do some basic math for you, 813 divided by 181, 4. So basically, what is that saying? He's averaging a technical foul almost every 4 to 5 games. That's why it feels like he's a bit dirtier. He's had some issues. What are the bigger things that's happened? Obviously, Rudy Gobert with the choke of the neck. Nurkic and the Suns with the elbow. Indefinite suspension this season. In addition, before that, he had the Sabonis stump in the playoffs. Other things, LeBron James in the playoffs with a groin hit. So the impact of why he's getting suspended and why he's getting his flagrant fouls or technical fouls is bigger than Embiid's. And it happens in more important moments. So it feels like he's doing worse because his name's in the news for the wrong thing more and more. But he's really actually not heads above everybody else. When you look at Embiid in the career stats, but also, let's take it to this season. We know for this season for Green, who I got right there, suspended for almost 20 games in the season, indefinite and the 5-game suspension because of his transgressions. But when we look, how many technical fouls did he have this season? He was 10th in the NBA with 10. Below Brooks, who we know has a lot of issue with players, at 15. Edwards had 15 techs, you know that? Doncic had 13. Portis with 12. And some other people ahead of him as well. So he actually didn't have as many techs. Now, fair, he was suspended for about 20 games, 25 games he missed total because of injury or suspension. So give him maybe another 3 or 4 techs in those games if he's playing, up the list. That's a fair transgression to say, hey, that's an argument back. But it's not on this list. And secondly, those people arguing, it feels like more and more. Draymond argues with the ref, and he definitely gets a leash, so you have to say that. But he's arguing at plays that feel like they deserve to be argued. Brooks, especially Doncic, I love him, but it feels like everything, like in soccer, you yell at the ref over everything that happens. Here, I feel like they're doing that too. Draymond yells, I feel like, and again, Warriors fans, you can go at me, non-Warriors fans go at me. It's when it matters, especially in the second half of the season when he came back from the suspension. He definitely knew he was not able to have the same leash. Kerr talked about that. He had to be on his best behavior. Yes, some things happened because you got to let Dre be Dre. However, he wasn't at the same level. Now, what about flagrants? He had, if you look here, 2 flagrant fouls this season. Puts him at where he's on the list? 7th. Obviously tied with a bunch of people. Miller out of Charlotte, the rookie, had the most with 4. Rosen with 3. Claxton with 3. Smith Jr. with 3. And then a lot of people there with 2. So what are we trying to say here? Is Draymond the nicest player in the court? No. But he definitely gets a bad rap. He does stuff that creates that bad rap because of the incidents that shouldn't happen. He did not need to put Rudy Gobert in a necklock. He did not need to do that elbow. He said he was trying to draw the foul or get the person off of him. And it looks bad, especially when you have a history. Tell me your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree with me? And that takes you to step 2, that he's not afraid to speak his mind. And he responded on his podcast, The Draymond Green Show, to James Jones. What did James Jones say? And James Jones is the GM of the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, their star player. Him, Booker. KD is a constant focus for us, and we need to continue to how to figure out to maximize Kevin. No one has done it yet. I believe we'll be the first team to do it. When he's playing at the highest level, he makes us a really, really good team, and we're damn near unbeatable. You see this? Champions? Not that season, but KD won 1 title with us. No. 2 titles with us, and 2-time finals MVP. Did he do it with OKC? No. Got to the promised land and lost. Did he do it with the Nets? No. Never even got to the promised land. Suns, crashed and burned. Right here. Throw in Steph. Throw in Clay. That's called maximizing KD. And how do you prove that? Well, let's look at the stats. 35 points per game, 55% shooting in the 2017 finals, taking home finals MVP. Year after that, second finals MVP. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 7.5 assists. Back-to-back champions. That is putting the team on your back. And what did he do in both series? 3-point line, a little bit to the left, top, dagger 3, hearts out. And what happened in that season after when the Warriors were going for the three-peat? KD had the calf injury going to the playoffs. And then he tore his Achilles, of course, against Toronto. And that really nailed the season. We definitely would have beat Toronto. Ben Rogers, if you're watching, helps run this channel, the Overall Digest Media. We would have beat y'all. We would have beat the Raptors, just no doubt. When he was playing in that early game, one game, we had the number. It was obvious. And then he goes out. Still maybe a chance. Obviously, Clay, when he hurt his ACL, that was it. But we had KD in that series. We get a three-peat. James Jones was also on that team in 2017 that lost to the Warriors in the finals when he was on the Cavs. And KD averaged all those bonkers, 35 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah, James Jones. I know that you have him on your team now, but you saw firsthand exactly what KD can do when he's the guy, when you do him the best. What Draymond say? When your team does not have plays to get Kevin Durant coming off a pin down, get Kevin Durant catching the ball at the elbow, live dribble, spots, etc., you're not using him wise. Warriors did that. So I'm sorry, but you didn't maximize Kevin Durant. But don't say nobody has maximized Kevin Durant because you've been on the wrong side of Kevin Durant being maximized. Warriors used him great. Let him come up, de facto point guard. Let him come off of the screen. Gave him an ISO. Let him create for his own. Let him be able to feed off of Steph and Clay. Great. And if you wonder, could he go back to the Warriors? We did a full breakdown of that video. It's right here in the comments for you. So go ahead and take a look and subscribe here. Let me know your thoughts. James Jones right? Wrong? Draymond right? Draymond wrong. Till next one, y'all.